Good afternoon, YouTube. It's that lunchtime hour again where I have to feed my 11 bully puppies, which to me now they look almost like a regular dog because they're so big. The biggest guy is 45 pounds and the smallest one is 32, and they'd sure love to eat. So here is what we have. We have cut up raw asparagus and organic mini pumpkin squash, some organic sesame seeds, white, some homemade beet powder out of the dried beets you saw in the last video. This is a hibiscus pomegranate, rose petal, red roses, rose petal grinded up just the way we made this. Underneath that is the spirulina, kale, chlorella, and blue algae mix that I give the dogs for their brain. Then we have the homemade veggie that we made in our last video, powder. We have some ground up. This is the best stuff. This pumpkin powder ground up turns into a paste or into a powder when you get the seeds roasted. This is flax seed ground up, turmeric, some oats, some of the algae stuff here, yellow beets, the tops of the yellow beets, they love that, and of course 100% grass-fed Wagyu beef. If you're like me and you don't like eating things that have too much fat and stuff, and you just like to get straight to the protein, that's why I became vegan, because I didn't really like ingesting too many fats, so this is how I treat my dogs. I know that the bully needs meat to be strong and have that bone structure and that good head on their shoulders. If you feed the dog right, this particular breed, you will have a smart dog. If you give him crappy, non-organic, sprayed, GMO food, your dog's going to be all over the place, and it's going to get super fat and super big, and it's not going to be healthy. It's going to be a giant dodo bird, a big giant with no brain. When you have a slim, muscular, fit dog, you have a dog that is capable and able to do all the things that you want in your beast. This is the mega style of food that I've put. Oh, I forgot there's cinnamon powder in there to regulate their sugar level. So I put this together for people who have the American Bully and they want to learn more about how to save money in their pocket and get really good food, because although you see the picture that looks this great on the bag of food like this, see how they look all raw and it looks all nice and pretty and all that. At the end of the day, it's not organic, it is GMO, and you're feeding the dog things that are not really for it. With this other brand, I've done the same thing. I've looked it up. It's real human. It's really nice. It says no on everything. You look at the package, you find that it is interesting and it has really good stuff. But then they add natural flavor. All these things, this fenugreek seeds, these carrot oils, all that is in the box that you just saw over there at my table. But I went from looking at the crunchy and what's in the bag to looking at the picture to get the reality of what it takes to actually make your own raw dog food for your bully. Now, inside this refrigerator, it looks hella empty. That's right, because it's for my dogs. And I only stock it with fresh veggies that'll last for 3 days so that I don't give them vegetables that are wilted, rotting, and potentially could have microorganisms and bacteria that won't be good for the dog. That's another reason why I use this amazing dehydrator by Sedona, because in here we can go ahead and dehydrate things like these banana chips that we made the other day to give them after their food. Unfortunately for me, because I was worried about the dog so much, I forgot to take this out early and they got a little bit over dehydrated. So learn from me, don't let that happen. We got a really perfect piece right there, but the other ones are kind of dehydrated. So we're going to go away from this section and go back to explaining why organic is important. Now, when you have organic, you have green leaves that look beautiful and healthy, and they don't have a compromised immune system in the structure of the plant. So the leaves come out nice. Now, this is organic, you know, food. It tastes great. Then we have the non-organic stuff. Okay, so it looks normal, but then you have compromised leaves that show that they've been sprayed. All these spots are what the vegetable is trying to deal with as it's being sprayed. Instead of them growing rich and healthy green, they're like a light green with spots all over. They feel tough. Then if you look really, really closely, some of them have yellow, and that's where the poison got sucked in by the plant and became that way. So all of the leaves have like this disease cell looking kind of structure, and that's because they've been sprayed. And there's no bugs on them. That's how you know they're not organic. And it's just, why would we want to have food that is sprayed, that has all these other things, you know, immunocompromised stuff for the immunity of the plant? And then it makes food, but the food actually within itself inside here has got a lot of pesticides and poison, which is why you don't want to eat that and feed that to your animals. So you've got to go organic. Honey nut squash right here. You got to go organic. That's just the simple and the best way to go in order to get really good students. As such, my dogs are not rowdy. There's 11 in the pack. They all sit down and wait for it. They're all very good, studious. They rarely learn. Their brain is on point. That